Good evening, Joe Imbriano. I believe tonight from everyone in attendance that you've heard enough information to make you realize that there are enough holes in this proposal to drive a truck through. Now, I don't know if the city attorney was in the back room watching, but I would certainly hope that he has consulted tonight before you take a vote on what has been raised here. A no vote is a no-brainer at this point. This thing needs to be brought back and needs to be looked at. This city cannot take care of its residents in its present form. Our roads are in ruin. Our quality of life is declining. There are people that work for this city that make a darn good living making sure that trend continues. And that's the problem. There's an incentive to bring these people into town who, by the way, we owe nothing to. They're just businessmen trying to make a buck at the expense of all of us. You cannot continue to build housing and let the jobs leave. The reason we have so much traffic in the morning and in the afternoon is because people are leaving town to go to work. And if we continue to gobble up all of this commercial real estate, then they're going to have to continue to go further and further to work. And when their kids can't find jobs when they come home from college and they move back into their parents' homes and a car comes with them, what are we going to do? The economic situation is reality, ladies and gentlemen. The middle class is disappearing. And that's not going to change, unfortunately, because leadership in government is allowing it to continue. And all that's happening here is the mad dash for the finish line for that fast buck, that park rec dwelling fee, that $9,000 a unit. You're going to make a couple $1 million off of this. You're going to get a couple of streets repaved, and you're going to bury a few utility lines. But that's because this city wants to bury its responsibility to take care of its infrastructure. That is not a fair trade. I don't care if there's a slurry coat on a street in front of one of these monstrosities. We got hundreds of miles of roads in ruin, and that's because there's too many dang cars driving on them. The traffic lights are out of synchronization. We have infrastructure issues. And these one-time, one shot on the arm and quick infusions of cash are not the solution. The solution is a long-term viable tax base, which this planning commission and this council seems to think is just dandy to drive out of town. And I'm tired of it. I moved here years ago, and it was a lovely community. I could deal with the traffic then. Where I grew up, you couldn't have a nice car because they'd break into your house and they'd break into your car. I moved here. I can afford a nice car, and I don't want to drive it because these roads are going to destroy the thing. That's the reality. This thing needs to go back to the drawing board before it goes back to the trash can. Thank you.